This is Whisper from History, where forgotten voices rise again. Have you ever seen a light that swallowed a child, leaving behind not even a sound? In a single moment, everything changed. He became the light, and the world went silent. Do you want to know the painful truth behind it? If you missed our 32-episode Season 1, Dark History, watch the full playlist on our channel. It was a clear summer afternoon in the Yosemite Valley, the kind of day when the granite cliffs glowed like silver under the Californian sun. Families were hiking, cameras clicking, children laughing by the Merced River. But within moments, that laughter would turn into screams. Witnesses would later say they saw a flash, a blinding, silent burst of white light, and when their eyes cleared, a boy was gone. No footprints, no sound, no trace, just a bicycle, lying still on the dirt. The year was 1999, and Yosemite National Park was brimming with tourists. For decades, it had been a sanctuary, 1,200 square miles of wilderness, waterfalls, and forests older than history itself. That morning, a family from Fresno had arrived early. The Turners, Mark Turner, his wife Ellen, and their 8-year-old son, Jacob. They had planned a quiet picnic near Mirror Lake. Jacob, full of energy, wanted to ride his small mountain bike along the flat trail nearby, just for a few minutes before lunch. His parents agreed, as they had done countless times before. Ellen remembered warning him, "Just stay where we can see you." Jacob smiled. "I will, Mom. Promise." That was the last time anyone ever heard his voice. At 11:42 a.m., hikers on the nearby trail heard a woman's scream echo across the valley. When park rangers arrived, Ellen was hysterical. She kept repeating the same thing over and over. There was a light. It swallowed him. He was right there, and then he was gone. Her husband Mark was already combing the nearby woods, yelling Jacob's name, his voice breaking against the rocks. Within the hour, the Yosemite Search and Rescue Team was mobilized. Dogs, helicopters, infrared scanners, everything was deployed. The search area expanded across 10 miles of wilderness, and yet, there was nothing. Not a footprint, not a torn piece of clothing, not even a scent trail. It was as if the boy had been lifted out of existence. Authorities were cautious. Official reports listed Jacob Turner as missing, presumed lost. But investigators were troubled. The terrain where he disappeared was open, flat, visible, and filled with other hikers. And then came the first strange witness account. A man named David Klein, a retired firefighter, claimed he'd seen a sudden flash of light from the tree line just minutes before the commotion. He described it as white, pure, like lightning, but without sound. Not a camera flash, not sunlight. It was something else. When asked if it could have been a reflection, he shook his head. "No reflection could blind me through sunglasses." That same day, 2 hikers on the opposite side of the valley reported something even stranger. A loud electrical hum that came and went in under 5 seconds. Their watches both stopped at exactly 11:41 a.m. But this was only the beginning. Within the next 48 hours, the search intensified. Over 100 volunteers joined the effort. The Park Service locked down all access points. Reporters from San Francisco and Los Angeles flooded the area. Mark and Ellen Turner appeared on local television, pleading for help. Ellen's eyes were red, her hands trembling as she whispered, "He's not dead. I know he's not. He's somewhere. He just needs us to find him." That night, as temperatures dropped and fog rolled over the valley, one of the search teams radioed in a strange finding. About 2 miles north of the disappearance site, near an old ranger station, they found Jacob's bike standing upright, balanced perfectly on its kickstand. The chain was clean. The tires were still inflated, but there was no dust on the seat. It looked freshly placed. When the rangers brought the bike back, Mark swore it was in the same condition as the morning it vanished. But the bike's small metal bell, which Jacob loved to ring, was gone. No one could explain how it got there, or why. The following day, a new piece of evidence appeared, or rather, was heard. A family camping half a mile from the trail recorded ambient nature sounds on a handheld camcorder that morning. When the FBI analyzed the footage, they discovered a faint background anomaly, a low-frequency buzzing, lasting exactly 3 seconds before cutting off. Right after that, silence. Then, a distant child's laugh, eerily brief. The time, 11:41 a.m. By now, local newspapers had turned the case into a national sensation. Boy disappears in flash of light, one headline screamed. Theories exploded overnight: alien abduction, secret military experiment, paranormal phenomenon. But the FBI wasn't interested in speculation. They focused on human suspects. The first to come under scrutiny was Mark Turner himself. He was interviewed for 16 straight hours. Investigators searched the family car, the tent, every piece of camping gear, but his story never changed. He'd been making sandwiches when Ellen screamed. He ran, and Jacob was already gone. There was no evidence of foul play, no motive, no body. And so, the case remained suspended between tragedy and impossibility. Weeks turned into months. Snow fell over Yosemite. The case went cold. But then, nearly 6 months later, something resurfaced. A group of hikers, exploring a restricted trail near Tenaya Canyon, stumbled upon a small clearing, and there, in the frozen mud, they saw something shining faintly in the sunlight. It was a metal bell, rusted, but still faintly engraved with a name: Jacob. The very same bell missing from his bike. Rangers retrieved it immediately. The site was scoured, and once again no footprints, no signs of animal activity, just that one solitary object resting exactly in the center of a smooth, circular patch of scorched earth. Scientists examined the area. Radiation levels were normal. No signs of fire or lightning. Yet the soil within that circle, about 4 feet wide, had been chemically altered. Something had fused the quartz particles in the dirt, as if by instantaneous heat, but there were no burn marks on the trees, no source of ignition. One physicist from UC Berkeley, brought in unofficially, remarked, "This kind of vitrification, the fusing of soil into glass, doesn't happen in nature. Not like this." Whatever caused it was brief, precise, and incredibly powerful. The FBI sealed the site. Publicly, they claimed the bell had simply been moved by wildlife or the river current. Privately, several agents requested reassignment from the case, citing psychological distress, because something else had started happening around that clearing. On 3 separate nights in January 2000, park rangers reported seeing faint flickers of light hovering over the area, small, silent, pulsating glows that appeared for seconds and vanished without a trace. Infrared cameras caught nothing. Thermal sensors showed no heat source, but the rangers swore by what they saw. And an officer named Maria Lopez, later said in a taped interview, "I heard a sound, like static, and then a whisper, a boy's voice, saying, 'Mom.'" Her statement was never included in official reports. By spring, Yosemite was open to tourists again. The Turner family never returned. Ellen was later admitted to a private facility after what doctors called acute stress hallucinations. She kept repeating a single line during her sessions: "He's in the light. He's calling me." Mark sold their home in Fresno and disappeared from public life altogether. And yet, each year, around the same date, local hikers have reported odd electrical interference in the same region. Phones freezing, GPS maps spinning wildly. One tourist in 2005 even captured a photograph of the clearing, and in the far background, between the trees, there's a faint silhouette of a child, blurred, surrounded by light. The photo was analyzed and dismissed as an optical illusion, but those who've seen it in person say it feels wrong, as if the boy's face is both smiling and afraid at the same time. Over time, the Yosemite Light case became folklore. Locals whispered about it in campfires and ranger bars. Some called it a government cover-up, the result of military testing or secret weapon experiments gone wrong. Others said it was the work of nature itself, that Yosemite, ancient and alive, had simply taken back what belonged to it. But in 2012, an unexpected revelation surfaced. A former national park employee, under anonymity, leaked internal correspondence, dated 1999, between park officials and the Department of Energy. The email referenced a possible atmospheric electromagnetic anomaly detected in the exact coordinates of Jacob Turner's disappearance 3 hours before he vanished. It described the event as localized, transient, and spatially contained. The report concluded, no cause identified, no further action taken. When journalists tried to verify the memo, every involved agency denied its authenticity. But the timing was impossible to ignore. Even today, the story refuses to fade. In 2021, a team of amateur researchers revisited the site with advanced They discovered something extraordinary. At the exact center of the old clearing, the magnetic field spikes erratically every few minutes, then vanishes. No known geological feature explains it. One of the researchers, a physicist named Dr. Alan Reyes, later told an independent podcast, if you stand there long enough, the air hums. Your ears ring. It's subtle, but it's real. It's like standing near a power line that isn't there. When asked if he believed the boy could have been caught in some electromagnetic event, he hesitated, then simply said, if he was, it wasn't from this world. 2 decades have passed. No remains, no evidence, no answers, just that moment, 11:41 a.m., frozen in time. Visitors still walk those trails, unaware of the silent mystery beneath their feet, and every so often, someone reports seeing a strange shimmer among the trees, a brief blinding flash, like sunlight bending the wrong way. When that happens, birds stop singing, the wind dies, and for a heartbeat, the world holds its breath. Because in that pause, some claim they hear a child's voice, soft, distant, carried on the air. Mom, I'm here. And then nothing. Just the sound of the river, and the endless echo of Yosemite keeping its secrets. Did Yosemite take him? Or did he slip into another world? Maybe he's still alive somewhere watching everything. No one knows where he is. Only a voice still echoes, Mom, I'm here.